How are you guys? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everybody is at peace. The likelihood of that is probably a little lower, being that we are in the TI community, but I think that is the whole point of trying to get through what we're going through. Give me a second here. We're doing what we can, of course. So I hope everybody is doing well and having a great day. I myself, some days very much yes, and some days it's a work in progress. And some days, but every day, to be honest with you, most days I'm just committed to that. I am just committed to making sure that I have a good day. You know, your life is going to be a culmination of the days you have, a culmination of what is going on for you. Give me a second. I don't know why the lights off here. I don't know why I'm trying to film with the lights off. It didn't make any sense. So yeah, your day is going to be a culmination of how you feel about yourself and how you're feeling about your life and how you're feeling about your existence here. Because really that's what it boils down to, is your existence. I wanted to read some affirmations just because it was on my mind today. And it was something that kind of popped into my head as well. So, things to repeat to yourself in order to feel a little bit better. I think you don't actually have to mean your affirmations when you start saying them. You can listen to affirmations or you can make them up for yourself, whichever one, however, whatever way it goes. But these are things that, you know, and I don't do it enough. I have to admit to that. I do not do this, not even nearly enough. But I just find that when I reaffirm things to myself that I want to feel, even if I'm not feeling it in that moment, it just pulls me closer. It pulls me deeper into where I want to be. So I'm just going to read these. These are points that I wrote down, and I really wish that I had written down the ones that had come to my mind, but I wasn't able to. So anyways, first of all, telling yourself, I am at peace with my life. I am relaxed about the pace towards my goals. I am beautiful the way I am. I am understanding of the mistakes of others and myself. I can try again tomorrow. Things are always working out for me. That is one that has been beaten into my head, and I absolutely believe it, and I know it to be true. I don't need a reason to be happy. I am committed to not relive the mistakes of the past. And when I say relive it, I mean play it over in your head. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and my life is on time. And of course, if you are a TI or being gang stalked, you can add things like, I am no longer experiencing gang stalking. I am no longer being crowded out on the streets. Everything in I am, everything in present tense, because you really have to believe that this is possible for yourself in order for you to get there. If you are still, and to be honest with you, the belief part of it doesn't start right away. The belief part of it, it takes repetition, for sure. It takes really wanting it it takes trying to envision it, and sometimes all that really happens in the beginning is you kind of just feel it and you dip in and out, and it's wobbly, it's shaky. You dip in and out of that feeling, and then one day you get closer, you master it, you build a process, you do things that assist you with becoming a pro at it, becoming a pro at being positive, becoming a pro at putting yourself at ease, becoming a pro at getting over your hurdles. Now, everybody's always heard of new level, new devil. Mastering your life is something that is like, honestly, it's trying. It's very trying. It's very difficult. Fighting your own lower nature is not easy. This is definitely something that I feel, honestly, it's just one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do, because I'm not doing it at my own pace, at a relaxed pace, how it's naturally coming up. I have to do it because this is a part of enjoying my life. This is a part of reclaiming my life. This is a part of taking my life back. Was mastering myself and is mastering myself. And it is very tough because it's like, I gotta address it now. Everything that I am currently, I feel like right now I'm on a boot camp of self-mastery. I feel like we all are, whether or not we know it. But once you get on that path of walking away from craziness, walking away from gang stalking, walking away from all of this, you have no choice but to be on that path. You have no choice but to take mastering your own weaknesses seriously. And you are in a situation where people have studied your weaknesses. And even if you don't have certain weaknesses, they're trying to plug holes in your everything. So they're gonna do so in certain ways, like draining you of your patience. They're going to constantly be provoking you. They're going to be lying about you. There's all kinds of things that would make a normal human being upset, that are happening, and they're happening daily, they're happening consistently, they're happening all the time. So that brings me to my first point. I've been on this whole moving on from gang stalking kick lately. This is one of the playlists that I've put on the channel. I'm going to be making a whole ton of content about that, because I think it's about time for a lot of us to just get up and start moving towards where we want to go, which is leaving, which is getting out of here. I think we're spending way too much time sitting in this space of feeling sorry for ourselves and regurgitating all the reasons why it's difficult to walk away. And it's about time we all start talking about moving on. How do we do this? So the first thing I want to talk about is figuring out why. We have done a good job in the TI community of figuring out what. What are they doing? What are they doing? The whys, I think some of the whys are bang on, and I think some of them need to be like reworked and refigured. So I'm gonna say these 2 points in figuring out why. The first is you need to keep revisiting an issue that you're having. So in previous lives, I've talked all about you need to continue moving forward. The ways in which you do that, you do things like choosing better emotions, you do things like keeping yourself high vibrational. High vibrational basically means out of anxiety, out of depression, out of fear, out of any of these low feelings, and always reaching for happiness, peace, being relaxed, feeling in control of yourself, reaching consciously and always for those feelings. So you will find that as you change, you're getting pushback. And You know you're getting pushback and you know what's happening, but you got to piece it together. You got to figure out, why am I getting more pushback on this particular thing than that particular thing? Why is the focus over here? And you can do so by constantly revisiting the idea and having a moment to yourself and thinking about it, praying about it as well. Why is this particular thing the thing that people are worried about? And then the other thing that I personally do is I try to notice patterns and circumstances around when things happen. So, for example, and this is a very real example, I have been being projected rage. And I realize it's not mine because I wake up at peace, I'm relaxed, I'm having a great day, and then all of a sudden I'm in a rage about something silly that I've already gotten over. And that thing is my trigger, whatever that trigger has to be at whatever phase in my life. Now, I am constantly committed to healing these triggers, these things that upset me. So I have to comb through them one at a time. And this is why I say this self-mastery thing, this is for champions, okay? Like, this is for like, this is not easy. Because you are constantly, you got to do the work. There's no such thing as, I'm going to tuck it away, I'm going to mask it by doing other things, going to work, talking to other people. There's no masking it, there's no tucking it away, there's no pretending that you're over it. A trigger is something that's going to be triggered unless you heal it. Doesn't matter where you tuck it. And they know a lot of what these triggers are. So you got to do the work. So I am doing the work. I'm revisiting past hurts, past annoyances, past offenses, past mistakes, and I'm literally combing through one at a time, getting through these things. And so some of these things annoy me, they make me cry, they make me angry. The work has to be done. I have come far enough in this stage where I know that it's okay to cry about things and I have to purge it. It's exhausting to cry for me, like maybe for everybody, but for me, I find it to be exhausting because it's like I am not, I am newer to my feelings than people would probably assume. I used to live outside my feelings for a very long time, and then I had to embrace my feelings, and embrace communication with people, expressing myself. That's been all a part of chakra healing that I've talked about. So as soon as this heart opens up, it just, everything opens up. And then because you accept your feelings, because you're okay with your feelings, it gets easier to talk about your feelings, to express your feelings to other people, to be gentle with other people when they cannot express their feelings, to be patient with people, to be understanding with people. Like, all this stuff just happens. So I'm at a point where I understand that purging feelings, it has to happen. I gotta get it out. I gotta get upset at it. I gotta understand it. I gotta rework it in my mind. I gotta see it from different angles. I gotta see it from the other person's perspective, etc., etc., etc. Some easier than others. So what was being projected at me has always been rage, and it would happen more whenever I got on here and I was in a demeanor like this, calm, cool, and collected, and a demeanor where I'm talking about God specifically. And I remember it was like almost 2 a.m. one day, and I got on live and I was like, do people just hate God? Because like, why is it that in particular is the thing that is upsetting? And then I realized today why. And it made perfect sense all of a sudden. And I was like, oh, this is the thing. The first problem has been that I've gotten over this hurdle of gang stalking. Like, I am out of their clutches, I'm out of their control. The second issue is that I'm coming on a platform where all the other people going through the issues are, and I'm telling them how. And My how is an insurmountable problem. It's a problem that they cannot get over. It is with the Holy Mother, the Holy Father, and my ancestors that I have gotten through. And not only that, but I don't come back just with saying pray. I come back with actual information on what is going on, why it's happening. This is how you get over this. This is how you get over that. Really giving like a full on comprehensive step by step, follow me, here are the breadcrumbs, let's go. I'm like, that's why. I'm like, duh. Why? Duh. Why didn't I figure that out before? What's wrong with me? That's all it is. This is insurmountable. Mother is insurmountable. She is a solution to gang stalking. She is the solution. It's God the Mother, God the Father, the ancestors, angels, spirit guides, help. That is the issue. That's the spiritual solution. So as I come here and I talk about it, I would see how that would send alarm bells everywhere. Witches never want you to know that God is the solution to what they're doing. And as you pray, as you bring in spiritual protection, as you bring in your help, that is mixed in when the spirituality meets the religion and they combine. So you can have a religious mindset, a mindset of good conquers evil, but you can also combine it with some esoteric knowledge as well that helps you overcome some of the very real challenges that you're going to go through on this journey. So, for example, things like spiritual cleansing, spiritual protection. I talk all about things like, protection lines, crystals, all of that. But I also believe in being a very good person. And I believe that you're happy as a good person. I believe you're prosperous as a good person. I believe you're protected as a good person. And I think what you put out is what you get back. I don't think that. I know that. 100% I know that. What you put out is what you get back. So, obviously someone wouldn't want me up here in this temperament. Somebody would want me up here upset and raging and in my lower nature. And I will say this, that there is absolutely, I think it's okay to purge emotions. So I think it's okay to express when a person is angry because you're angry for a reason, something's going on. I think that's okay. But I think to stay in anger or to act from anger is the issue. And I think when trying to even express that you're angry, if it's not controlled, if it's not done so in a responsible way, it can also be counterproductive because, then you tend to say things you regret and all kinds of things happen. And I've always talked about the fact that, like, listen, not just myself, anybody trying to spread these kind of messages are under consistent attack. I think that's why you wake up under attack, because you need to learn how to handle attacks, because they are going to be consistent and persistent. Like, I have come to the conclusion that for the duration of maybe my life, I'm gonna face some sort of spiritual attack if this is what I'm doing, if what I'm doing is helping people out of very, very, what can feel like hopeless situations. So the gang stalking is one thing, and when that's done, it's like I'm going to continue giving the messages, and then there's going to be more to that, and then it's like on and on and on. So I've just literally come to the conclusion that I'm going to consistently have to deal with this sort of issue. And through me going through it, I can now recognize where other people are going through it as well. And it's something that is so covert that you don't even know what is happening. You're just having like negative life experiences consistently, and if you can't piece it together, you probably won't see it. So, and because it is so well organized and it's such like a high level, so organized, such a high level illusion, it's not like a small lie, it's like an elaborate scheme. So, you know, I start realizing people like celebrities are going through gang stalking. Um, Politicians go through it. And I'm not even saying like, oh, in like back in the day in Soviet Russia type of thing. I'm saying like I can see it now. They're the worst. It's like the smear campaigns about these people, the constant lies, pushing the public towards hating them. People in political office, like they have to learn to play the game. it's it's so much, but I can see it now. I can see that there are people, not just religious people either, that they get to the point where it's like the life you've chosen has opened you up to this, so you have to be able to deal with it. And I think politicians deal with it the best of anyone that I've seen. I think celebrities, some celebrities are very graceful with it as well. Although you more so see celebrities that are having anxiety and that are breaking down and stuff like that. But I think politicians, prime ministers, all of that, these people deal with this the best. And they're the people who are, I think they're even more vilified because not everybody's into celebrity gossip, but the people who are into politics are very serious, so they're very passionate. um yeah, it's crazy, and I look at it and I kind of think to myself, if people like that can deal with it as a lifestyle, then I'm gonna have to deal with it, and I can do it as well. And they do it very gracefully, and they're in the public eye, so I can do it as well. I can find a way to get there with myself. So this is the current state that I'm in as I am navigating this new thing, this new journey that I'm going on, as I am bravely getting on board with where I feel like I should be. Um, so yeah, I constantly say to people, I have great advice, but as far as you can never tell what is going to happen once you get on these platforms. Once you start talking to people, you make yourself a target, because now I'm not just fighting the old people that were fighting me down, but now I'm picking up new enemies, because as I help people and as people change, as people do better, as people wiggle out of problems, as people get a healthier mindset, then whoever is targeting them now wants to target me because they want to get rid of me. They want to get rid of me so that I don't keep helping people. And that's truly what was happening to people that were helping me when I was going through my process. These people were also being targeted, they were also being persecuted, they were also being constantly sent energy, and things were constantly happening. So I completely get it. I am aware because I've been through it, and so it's like I'm not walking in blind like possibly maybe they were. Um, One thing that I do want to talk about in connection to that is I talk all about when you are doing something and that particular behavior is being isolated to beat down on you, with stopping it, with the intention of you stopping that behavior. When that happens, that's a behavior you need to repeat, regardless of what it is. So if you get to a point where, like for me, it's coming on live. First, it was just coming on live in general. Now that we're past the fact that I'm going to come on live every single day, it's no longer me just coming on live. It's literally, if I'm talking about God, if I'm talking about something positive, if I'm appearing positive as myself, where people can see who I am and understand who I am and see that I'm a peaceful person and see that I'm minding my business and etc., etc. So this is the behavior that people want to block. And so obviously this is the behavior that I need to repeat. Now, there are very specific reasons why I feel like it's happening. But, you know, for the sake of this live, I'm not going to go into it. But obviously, this is the behavior that I need to repeat because this is a behavior that people don't want. So this is how it works for you as well. If you find yourself in a situation where, like, say every time you're looking for a job, that's when they attack you. That one's pretty obvious. But what if it's every time, obviously, every time you pray, that's another obvious time. But what if it's something like every time I sweep my house? You won't even notice it. You'll just be sweeping your house and you'll be like, that's so random. I wasn't even doing anything. Why would they do that? But it might be every time you're sweeping your house. So you really have to look at the circumstances surrounding what you're doing. And now that you figure out that's something that they don't want you to do, then you got to sweep your house more. I would say once a day at least. You got to continue. And that's what I mean by tapping that button over and over and over, is making sure you repeat that behavior, because even though you may not understand why, it's obviously a behavior that is beneficial to you and disadvantageous for them. So this is something that I have taken very seriously. This is something that I am now doing. Not now doing, I've been doing that. I've been doing that for a while. I'm very conscious of this. Very conscious of this. I talk about spiritually cleansing, and I feel like spiritually cleansing is something that I need to repeat all the time. I have how-to videos on my page, on the channel. There's something called the TI starter pack of how-tos. In that particular playlist, I break down a whole bunch of basic forms of cleansing that people can go into. This is going to significantly help you with the energy that we feel. So it can be anything from skin ailments all the way up to ending up in like the ER. So, or in the hospital, I should say. So very, very, very important to spiritually cleanse. This is where more of esoteric knowledge comes into play. These are things that I think everybody should know, but I did not know. I had no clue when I started this journey that people were, I mean, in the middle of the journey, you figure it out, or at the onset of it, you figure it out that there is energy that is happening here, that you're being energetically disturbed. But how to heal it, that's something that people don't know. So that is something that I urge anybody watching any of my videos to please check it out. How to deal with cleansing your energy, cleansing your body, healing yourself, extremely important. Spiritual cleansing is a routine. It's like cleansing your body. Regular showers, brushing your teeth, working out, eating healthy, all of that. But also on the flip side, things like cleaning your energy, looking at your luck, always kind of checking out like, how are things working out for me in every facet? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? What do I need to continue to inch forward towards things working, towards things making sense, towards things improving? And that can be on the grander scheme of no longer being a TI, or that can be on a lesser level of literally just little things around you. Living a more balanced lifestyle is important. Making sure that you live in a clean space, making sure that you're organized, making sure that you're pursuing your goals, making sure that you're taking care of things that you have to take care of, and being responsible. All of these things are extremely important, like extremely important. I want to say set intentions, and I don't even say set goals, set goal posts. Set goal posts. It's different. So if you think about sports, you're kicking the ball in that direction all the time. And you really have to look at it like soccer, like where you're constantly trying to get the ball to your goalpost and people are trying to kick it back in the other direction. That's how you look at handling challenges, you know, when you set an intention that you may or may not completely not have doubts about achieving, you continue to work towards it. You continue to move in that direction. You continue improving. You continue going because you have no choice. This is your life. This is where you're at, and you got to do the heavy lifting. You got to do the work. You got to build. You have to work towards. You have to save towards. You have to whatever it is. You're the one that has to do it. And everybody should have an intention of no longer wanting to be gang stalked, no longer wanting to be targeted. You can't get around that. You can't stay here. It's the bottom line. However you get there, however you find your way there, however you, it's going to be between you and God, but you need to get there. You need to set the intention that you cannot stay here anymore, and that you need a new beginning, and that you want to enjoy your life, and you cannot continue to live this way. It needs to happen. On that note, prayers should be supported by action. We need to, and you know what? I have to tell you, pace is something that I've had to learn. And I had to learn why. Like, for me, not rushing things has been so important for me to learn, because literally me just rushing towards these goals that are going to take forever, that are going to take a lot of grooming, I found myself making mistakes. I found myself not thinking things through. I found myself not producing the quality of result that I want. So I want to say, listen, this gang stalking thing is going to be trying, and this thing's going to take a while no matter what you do. You can want to rush it and get on with your life and get through things as fast as you want, but it's not going to happen as easy. It's not going to be snap your fingers and get it done. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. It's going to take grooming yourself. It's going to be being consistent in your routines. It's going to be mastering yourself. Like I've said, it's going to be feeling defeated, feeling drained, continuing to move forward, being committed to yourself, etc., etc. Like, and it sounds draining, and I think a lot of us repeat that, and that's really what it takes. I want to say in the beginning that is very difficult to get through, and then you get to the point where that's just normal and that's easy. That doesn't feel like heavy lifting. That doesn't feel like a heavy burden is on your shoulders. You literally just get to the point where this is your state of being, where you believe in yourself, where you push yourself, where you're patient with yourself, where you hold yourself to a higher standard. And I know that most TIs out there are, listen, it's not easy. I can't judge anyone for feeling how they feel, feeling defeated, feeling hopeless, feeling upset, just trying their best. I can't blame anyone for that. However, I constantly say we gotta find a way to pick ourselves up emotionally. I don't want to regurgitate old information that I already have up. So obviously I talk about spiritually cleansing. I'm just going to repeat that again because I don't think enough people do it. I don't think enough people do it. Obviously I've talked about before, I have whole videos on finding a new beginning. And I definitely want to talk about finding antidotes to the energy work that's being done against you. I don't want to spend too much time on that topic. However, I think going beyond just spiritually cleansing and stepping into strategy as far as energy work is concerned is very important. Spiritually, if you just employ spiritual cleansing and just protection work, I feel like you are going to constantly be cleaning up messes. I think that it employs looking at strategy, employing making plans. As far as that stuff is concerned, you can't just sit here and be a victim to any problem that comes into your life as a TI. You cannot sit here and just think that it's okay to live like this. The energy work is very serious and it must be taken seriously, and we know this. So people have solutions always for, well, I don't hear much solutions in the gang stalking world. I haven't heard a solution for V2K. I haven't heard a solution for being crowded outside. I don't hear solutions. Now, mind you, I don't listen to too many TI videos because it's off-putting, because it's very disheartening, because I feel like I can see the mental health decline sometimes in people, and I can see the results of what's been happening to them. I can see the self-care has declined significantly, and I can tell just by remaining in the situation incrementally, the damage, it's getting there, it's working. So I don't like seeing that, and so I don't listen to a lot of it, and it's always regurgitating the same things and not stepping into a place of peace, of mindfulness, of walking away. I find I have one of the only channels that talks about that actually really, really talks about that. So I think we should have more channels that talk about healing, more channels that talk about cleansing ourselves, barricading ourselves away from these direct contact, having direct contact with these people. This is what we must come to. Now, I talk all about constantly the way that I got through. The reason that I got through gang stalking, and they will always tell you that it's not possible to get through gang stalking, and that is a lie. It is an out and out, bold-faced, straight up lie. That is not true. You absolutely can and should get out of gang stalking. I am very, very, very serious about my spiritual beliefs. I don't just say things to say them. I walk this walk, I talk this talk, I live this life. I have no choice, because this is how I am getting out. This is the path that I have to be on. And so because of that, because I've taken it seriously, this is why it's worked. And I've realized that sometimes perhaps people are not taking it as seriously as they should. Maybe they don't believe in it like they say they do. Maybe they don't do the things that they're supposed to do. You have to be very disciplined to have a spiritual relationship. Very disciplined about how frequently you pray, how frequently you cleanse yourself, how you protect yourself, how you follow guidance, spiritual guidance, how you, like I say, you master your lower nature, you continue improving yourself. This is very serious stuff. This is not stuff you can just talk about and not do. And you're facing a lot of battles, a lot of hurdles. Like, listen, TIs are subjected to a level of like negative behavior and abusive behavior that, like, I constantly say, I feel like active war is the only other time that I can see someone constantly being in a state of anxiety, stress, and depression like this all day. And it is not healthy. Mental health issues are going to develop. That is just that, you can't get around that. You can't get around that. And it's just because you are subjecting yourself, you're not subjecting yourself to it, but you're being subjected to it. You have to find peace. You have to pull away. You have to allow God to help you. There's a lot of talk about Jesus on here. You have to let God help you. You have to put yourself in the best situation that you can. And so that means constantly looking at your environment and saying to yourself, what can I do to barricade myself away from these conditions that are really like, they're really causing me distress. I don't feel good feeling like this. And it's tough because they create a lot of like deep wounds. You know, things like betrayals, things like confusion in your relationships and all of that. So it's like when you're under that kind of pressure for that long, you're inching towards mental health issues no matter what you try. No matter how great you feel in this moment, little by little, it's happening. Subconsciously, it's happening. It's getting to you. It's taking a toll. So you have to constantly rebalance yourself and bring yourself to a place where you are experiencing moments of peace, more and more moments of peace, experiencing more and more moments of happiness, moments of not feeling a victim, moments of not feeling bullied, no moments of not feeling unliked, moments of feeling positive about yourself, moments of having or returning to normal like healthy behaviors. You need to have more and more of those experiences like you had before. And in order to do so, you gotta block the energy coming towards you. In order to do so, you have to make conscious efforts towards going towards peace, feelings of peace. You have to heal the wounds, or these thoughts are going to come up in your head all the time, like, why this, why that? You have to make peace with losing people, places, and things. The past is the past, and this is where life has taken you. This is the turn that it's taken. How can you get yourself to a point where you can make the best of this situation? These are the kind of thoughts that you need to have. How can I move forward in the best way possible? So for me, that was in my spirituality, in my spiritual growth. In the time that I have been a TI, I have had a spiritual ascension, a spiritual awakening. I feel like I have awakened to the truth that has been hidden, the truth that has been held from us, the truth that is very real, that has changed my life. I have moved away from Christianity and towards spirituality. In my spiritual walk, I have found my mother. I have found my spirit guide. I have found my ancestors to still be with me. I have found my father as well. I have found healing and spiritual guidance, and it has forever changed my existence. I cannot explain how at peace I am, and how with this realization and with working with these energies, I have walked my way out of gang stalking. Even though gang stalking behaviors continue outside of my boundaries and outside of my walls, I do not consider myself a TI. I do not walk around with that mentality. I don't feel bad for myself. I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't regret that it's happened. I just know that everything is on time. Things are happening in the way that they're supposed to happen. And, you know, like I said, things are always working out for me. In finding true spirituality, when I mean the personal journey, so not necessarily being ordained by any group or like baptized into any religion or born again into a church, none of the above, but just literally finding spirituality for myself, by myself, you know, with meeting spirit guides myself, with being open to things because of experiences, I can tell you that everything has happened perfectly and it's right on time. I tell you this because, so for example, one of the things that has happened is, you know, as people who have been targeted, they destroy our social networks. And in the destruction of our social networks, at first it's a very traumatic experience when you're isolated in this way. For me, I want to say significantly less so, because I have existed for quite some time like this, so it's nothing new. It's actually foreign to me to be around too many people. But in all of this happening, in being separated from people and having relationships severed, and I mean they really did this by any means necessary. Most people, they use slander and it wasn't working, and in my situation they have gang stalked anybody who's come close to me, like without hesitation. So people are scared to come towards me, people are scared to be around me. I don't believe I am the first person that they've done that to either. So, you know, it is what it is. But in that happening, I've realized that it had to happen. And why do I say so? Because it would have been much more difficult for me to step into my spiritual journey being around my old network of people. It would have been far more difficult. And now I kind of understand why religious people, especially Christian, well, I can only speak for Christianity, that's a religion I know intimately, but how in Christianity they talk about be not equally yoked with sinners. And what they mean is, once you're born into a kingdom, it's like, or into a religious order, it's like you want to fraternize with those people and not people outside, because you have a particular mindset that you might not want to continue burdening yourself with explaining or justifying that mindset to others. And so one of the things that's happened with me is that what I believe in is not necessarily something that is easy for people to come to terms with, absorb, accept, because it's far from what everybody has been told. It's far from what everybody has been told as far as who God is, what God represents, how God works. The idea of God, the idea that God is not just like an idea, but like real, in a very real way, God is there, and that people do have spiritual gifts, and that, you know, things that sometimes we deem as not very not very real, or things that people are just saying because we don't have proof of it, are in fact real. It's crazy to me. I come from a corporate background. I come from a middle class corporate background. I just wouldn't see myself as someone who would be super spiritual. I just don't. I don't. And I am actually very, not shocked, but definitely proud of myself as like to how I've navigated, because of how I've navigated this situation. I'm extremely proud of myself. This is so traumatizing. I mean, first of all, I definitely always thought that I was going to get through it. Thank goodness for that. I always thought I was going to get through it. But in thinking that I'm going to get through it, believing that, and then coming out, not just getting through it, but coming out gracefully and coming out level-headed, without losing my mind, without being a traumatic mess, without being hateful, without being angry, just being myself again. Like, oh my goodness, thank God. I've spent the bulk of this journey just saying, like, thank God God is real, because if God wasn't real, where would I be right now? God has saved me from this completely. I do not look like what I've been through. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been so much. It's been a lot. I talk all about my experiences on this page. I have playlists that talk about like my personal story, the kind of people that have been after me. People, I know there are people who are gang stalked by like ex-husbands and stuff like that, but mine is a global drug organization. And boy, how I wasn't scared is because of God. It's been her encouragement the entire time. It's been her being close to me, her staying close to me. Oh, it has been a relief. It has been a relief to know this, that this is the truth. We can carry the energy of God, and that is amazing to know. The Bible already said it, but now I'm seeing it in a very different way, a very real way. We can carry the energy of God with us. The energy of God shines through us. People meet you and they feel like better. They feel better about their life, their day, their circumstances. They love being in your energy. It is just very magnetizing. It's attractive. And they think it's you, and it's really the God in you. And you start picking up the traits of God. And you walk in that energy where you walk empowered. You walk thinking that you are in control of your reality. That just by choosing better feeling thoughts, better emotions, having better intentions for yourself, your circumstances slowly change. And that is amazing to know. That is a beautiful story to tell. How did you get out of that circumstance? I was just determined to get out of it. I was just determined that I did not want to go through with this. I was just determined that this is not the life experience that I want to have for myself. And you push forward. And I don't know, for me, it has just been, it's been a magical experience. It's been a tough experience, but it's been a magical experience. And as I've depended more and more on God, without doubting it, without wondering like, is this real, just completely trusting and free falling into that relationship, it is so important to me to pass that on to other people, to let other people know like, you do not have to live this way. You do not have to accept the circumstances that are around you, that there is absolutely no spell work possible that can work on you. There is no energy work possible that can work against you. There, God is the antidote for everything. And I say that with full confidence. It's why I walk away. And I always say it takes two hands to clap. You know, God, your ancestors, your spirit guides over here, and you over here. And you guys working together. And the spirit work and the energy work, that's up to them. And the work on yourself, the work on your healing, the work on you moving forward, the work on you being the best version of yourself ever, that's on you. And as you continue developing and enjoying your life experience, the energies that you carry with you, they enjoy life with you as well. And it just continues to like snowball like that, and it picks up momentum, and before you know it, you become a person who naturally is committed to happiness, committed to finding better feeling thoughts, committed to constantly just being at peace, committed to having hope in yourself, committed to seeing a better tomorrow. Because that is one of the things that has been tough, I think, for all of us, is believing. And I think the longer you've been here, the harder it might be to believe that you can leave, to believe that you can have not the old life back, but an even better life, because you can make improvements on that life that you had. That, I think, has been challenging. That hasn't been practiced enough. It's not something to just achieve. It's something to practice and make a routine. There isn't a lot of talk about it. I think this is what we need to be talking about. This is what we need to be putting into practice. I talk about Christianity and how, you know, I think we can expand on it. I don't think we can expand on our thinking of who we're praying to and what we're praying to, because I can tell you in my spiritual awakening, there are energies I didn't meet. And it's not to say that I met every energy out there, but you know, I can only talk about the ones that I did meet that are very real to me. There are things that I never thought that I would do, like have an altar. I never thought I would have an altar in my home that I pray in front of, that I give offerings on, that I set intentions on, that I offer up to the spirits whatever I need them to work on. I never thought so. I never in a million years. I am so happy that I have been open to these changes, because had I not, I would have been trapped back there. I would have been stuck. So this is what I can give back, is that hope that if you just allow yourself to temporarily just envision for a bit, what if the spiritual help is literal, it's real? What if I try something new, if I have a little bit of faith in something outside of me, what if it might work? What if I might get relief? What if I might get there? So I want to offer that up. I want to offer up, honestly, just knowledge of my mother. That's really what I want to give. My mother and my father. I think I've talked about it all the time. Everybody has access to their ancestors. They have access to their dead. I think that's where you start, because these are energies that you trust. But I cannot pretend that it's not through the Holy Mother that we get through. Not just gang stalking, but in general. This is the ultimate goal and the ultimate solution to being gang stalked, to being protected. Our Holy Mother, the Holy Ghost. Yes, there is God the Father, absolutely. I think a lot of us have prayed to God the Father for a long time. God the Mother, the Holy Ghost has been an energy that some religious groups definitely recognize her, like in the Catholic Church, very much recognized. Latin cultures as well also recognize her. So Mexico and places like that. But I think it's time for everybody to know. It's time for everyone to know who she is, what she's about, the healing energy that she offers, the peace that she provides. It's time for everybody to see, you know, and I just hope to be a walking example of what can be done. We do not have to endure this. We do not have to stay here. I think the bulk of me enduring all of the things that I have to endure is because I've always had to find the solution. And in me finding the solution, I can come back here and I can give this kind of advice that I give. I can give very serious advice about, like, you know, how to cleanse this, how to cleanse that, like actually prescribe, you know, for different things. But that's because I got bullied and piled up on spiritually. So it took all of that for me to learn. And I think it doesn't have to take that for everybody to learn. You know, each one teach one, and that's what my channel is about. I'm gonna leave it here because I don't want to go too long. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. I usually forget to ask people to like the live, but I appreciate it. You know, overall, what I really want to provide on my channel is, you know what, now that I think about it, today's a monumental day for me. I'll tell you why today's a monumental day for me. Because today is the first day I figured out why I've been struggling emotionally with certain things, and how to get over the energetic attacks, and how to take back my vibration. it's like I've been projected rage and anger for not, well, for no reason. They pop out of nowhere, so it's not my feelings, but it's like I have things to attach it to, because anybody who's been targeted is gonna feel the rage, right? You have reason to be upset. But today's the first day that 2 days in a row I've been giving my favorite message to give without succumbing. Like, I'll get a good day and I'll talk about God, and then I'll have to go through spiritual attacks and it'll take me a while to get back there. Today's the first day that 2 days in a row I've talked about God and I've maintained a happy demeanor. Today I had to work on it. When I woke up and it started, I had to cleanse, and then I had to figure out like which cleanse is the one that helps with this. And so I'm so happy. I keep learning different things, different solutions to different problems. And when they work, it's like there's no way for them not to work. That's one thing about spiritual cleansing. When you find the healing for it, there's no way for it not to heal. It's like a master healer. So there are so many little tips and tricks that I would love to share, new things that I've learned. I'm gonna take my time on it though. I really want to explore things a little bit more, but I have solutions to so many of these things that burden us. So I have a playlist on the channel called How To. That's where I make the videos shorter. It's like anywhere from like 10 minutes to 15, 20 minutes on very specific information. How to do this, how to do that. I'm gonna probably make a video on what cleansing to use for what problem. So there are multiple solutions, and I was gonna do it before and I didn't, but you don't have to use guesswork on what's going to work for certain things. Like, I can literally tell you, if you're having this issue, you do this. It's almost like a prescription. So I'll make a video on that. I'll put that together and I'll put it in that playlist so that people can, and I'll make a cover where it can be screenshotted so that like you can keep it on your phone and just look at it when certain things happen. But yeah, we do not have to suffer skin issues. You don't have to suffer going to the hospital. You don't have to suffer acne, gaining weight, looking old, getting ugly. Nothing, none of the above. You do not have to suffer with a few simple things that you just keep up with. And it's like, it doesn't even take effort. And there's some solutions that you can just implement like right away. So I'm going to put that video together as far as following kind of problem to solution. But before I wrap it up, to the 3 people in here, and by the way, anybody in here, if you haven't liked the live, please do like the live. I appreciate it. It helps the engagement. But before I leave it, I just want to say, listen, I know that it's an odd thing to say. Although there are many people that do say it, I'm not the only one. But I just want to say this. Spirituality is real. Energies are real. Just like we want to believe in angels, demonic energy, demons are also real. When these people send this your way, you got to be protected and you got to be ready. You got to call in spiritual protection immediately. Simple as that. Easy prayers. Things that... What kind of skin problems do you have? Like, is it chronic, or is it like persistent all the time? Or is it like things just pop up? No, I don't upload prayers, although it's crazy. I thought to myself today, I said, I need to pray. I need to teach people how to pray. It's not like they say in the Bible. I mean, it can be, but real prayer is not that complicated. There are different types of prayers. So let me give you some types of prayers that I use. When I am just talking to God on a day-to-day basis. It's not even formal, it's throughout my day. Something's not working and I'm like, Mother, can you please help me fix this? Like, can you please, like, I don't want to spend any money on it. Can we find a solution right away? This is the part, let me backtrack. This is the part that we have been lied to the most. God doesn't make you wait. God gives solutions like this. You think you have a magic wand. It's weird. God doesn't make you wait. Listen, I'll lose something on my computer. Like, I'm like, I know I saved this video. I know I watched it. It should be in the history, or at least in the watch later. It's not there. I've gone up and down the list a million times. It's not there. And I say, Mother, this is something that I wanted. Can you like bring it up for me? I scroll. The video appears on my feed. And it's from someone I just followed. So it's like, I don't see a lot of their stuff. This is, solutions like this work for everything. I had to redo mortgages in the middle of gang stalking. I had to sell property. I had to find new store locations. I had to do everything. And it's like, you could see on people's face, people were shocked. Like, they were running away real estate agents. They were gang stalking real estate agents. They were doing all of this stuff. And it's like, God does not make you wait. I'll pray. I'll be in the store and I'll pray and I'll be like, God, I need to make sales today. I need something needs to happen. It'll happen that same day. God will show you exactly what you ask for to the penny is what I'm going to give you, because I need you to see that I'm real. It's like, wait a minute. This is not like the Bible. I remember being younger and you pray to Jesus and you pray to God, and it's like you're waiting and it's like nothing's happening. Things aren't improving. You're not even seeing signs. Like, what is going on? And I awaken spiritually. I accept that this energy that I feel is a feminine energy. This feels like a mother's love. And I go through this journey and I trust it. And it helps me every step of the way. It brings me to the right place so I can hear the right thing, so I could talk to the right person, that they have the solution. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And they don't just do it. They do it in such a way where they know little by little by little, like, this is us. We're doing this. I remember I got a mortgage when it was like, they only told me I had to get the mortgage in 2 weeks. Who the hell can do this in 2 weeks? It's like I had no time. It was either 2 weeks or a month or something, but it was like I had no time. And I remember every single person I met was Asian. Every single person I met was Chinese. Every single person, everyone. I had no choice but to sit back and be like, how is this possible? It's almost like them telling me, this is who you can trust. This is who you can trust. This is who you can trust. But it's our little secret. And I'm telling you, you can't take me back to any other belief, because nothing else has been this real in my reality. Let me read your comment. So boring. Tara says on my face and ears or some sort of rash on my chin, and I had a rash on my butt. Okay, so baths, spiritual baths. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Do you have, let me see, can I comment in here? Do you have a pen? Oh, yes, I can. I'm gonna put a little recipe in here for you to bathe in, okay? So, spiritual bath. So, one, you want coconut water, the water in the actual coconut water. Then you want to take the coconut jelly, I'll call it the coconut jelly, the white part that's in there, and you want to blend it in a blender. And then you also want to add in the blender vitamin E. You want very raw vitamin E, raw, like the $10 stuff in the bottle that's very thick and pasty. Usually you only need a couple drops in your lotion for your skin, which I'm going to tell you to do that after, but you want to put some drops in the blender with the coconut. So as you're sitting in the water doesn't dry out your skin. So you want to add vitamin B in there, or sorry, vitamin E in there as well. You're going to add coarse salt. Coarse salt in the bag, a full bag. Let me show you what it looks like, coarse salt. Coarse salt looks like this. I don't know if you can see, but not kitchen salt, coarse salt, like that, okay? I'm gonna show you what a bag of it would look like. I buy this by the caseload. This is $1 at Walmart. It's literally great value. It's 99 cents. Coarse salt, that's it. You put a full bag in your bathtub, along with the other stuff that I said. You put lemon slices and lime slices in as well. Lemon and lime. You slice it thin so that you can squeeze it. You can squeeze it into the tub. What else would I put on there? Ginger, cut up as well. Actually, you can blend the ginger in with the coconut as well. You can do that. You're going to take the coconut, the jelly, the blended jelly, you're gonna take that and you're gonna pour the liquid into a strainer. So you're gonna sift it so that you just get the coconut water. You're gonna add a little bit of water into it and you're gonna put it in your bathtub. You can put a little bit, hold on one second. It's the same thing I'm telling, the same bath that I'm telling this person, you can do the same thing. Same thing. What is important is how often you do this. Once a week minimum, but in the beginning, I don't know, are you guys TIs? I'm not sure, but in the beginning, I would do like twice a week, every week. Make it a part of your relaxation ritual. You're gonna light candles in your home for protection, white candles, but not just for protection, for relaxation. Just seeing a candle, it's like how a fireplace relaxes you, the cackling of a fireplace. It's just a relaxing thing. So I would go ahead and like light candles and take regular baths. It calms you. The water, just being in the water, even if you had no salt, no anything in there, is gonna cleanse you. And then you can start, when you get better at it, and you should make your own spiritual baths, is you should start adding different herbs in there. So you're gonna say things like rosemary, lavender. You can go get these herbal tea sort of jars where it has all these dried herbs in it. You can take those, boil it in a pan, and then throw the water in there, strain it of course, because you don't want to get that stuff down the drain. Just turn to spirituality to find solutions for things. You can look to naturopathic methods. You can look to Google things on the internet. Like, you don't need people like myself. I make different baths all the time for different things, but you got to care for your skin, and then, you know, make sure you're moisturized. I don't really use like chemical products and stuff like that. Actually, for a woman, I used to use very expensive products. Like, I just found I'd always have to switch it. I'd always have to switch the product, try something new. I gave up on that a long time ago. And I use very natural things for myself. So I wouldn't, like, honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. Start with the one that I just gave with those ingredients in there, and build upon that. Like, the coconut moisturizes your skin. It infuses nutrients. You can put also like orange slices. You don't even have, you don't have to use just one thing either. So not just witch hazel. You can literally use like different oils, but vitamin E, I swear by vitamin E. Anything, just the natural version, not like the version where they involve anything else, like the raw oil. So for the coconuts, I just buy coconuts myself at the store, like $2, like the actual coconut. I put it in a bowl and I just break it. And then I use the actual water in baths. I use it, things in my hair. I use things on my skin. You just get slowly but surely and keep employing things, mix different things, add different things. I have spiritual bath recipes also on playlists on the channel that just kind of talk about like just different ingredients that you can use, but there's so much you can do. What is most vital is the citrus fruits, the salt. The citrus fruits literally are pulling toxins from you. They are pulling toxins from your skin, pulling toxics from your body. The salt is doing the same thing. It's just relaxing. It feels so good. They use this salt a lot in like spas and stuff like that. It's just very healing, very healing. So between the citrus fruits and the salts, I feel like it's definitely something that you have to have in every spiritual bath. And then from there are people who use like crystals, crystal tumblers and stuff like that for healing properties and whatever. It depends on how far you are with your spiritual belief. When I started, there were things I was kind of like okay with, and other things I was like, that's way too out there for me. And now it's like, I'm out there. I'm out there with it. But you got to take it at the pace that is natural for you. You don't want to rush yourself. You want to feel comfortable with what you're doing, and you want to feel like what you're doing is right and it sits good with your gut. It's not just because myself or anybody else says something, because there are people that definitely believe in some bad things too, and I feel like they lead people the wrong way. And for me, I just like being careful. I like leaving things to God. I don't like taking things into my own hands in a lot of ways. I like praying for things and letting God answer it. So I have a lot of unanswered prayers. I've prayed out of anger. I've made mistakes, but you know, at the end of the day, I just thank God that I didn't go myself and take things into my own hands and try to do these kind of things. So that would be my advice for stuff like that. I don't know, the internet says all kind of things, but I don't subscribe to everything that they have as far as healing. Like, so that's why I say it's your comfort level. I don't know if I'll eventually get there with certain things, but some things I just feel like it's a bit too far. But yeah, I'm at a level with it where, you know, my spirituality hinges on my relationship with the Most High God, not seeking different deities and doing all of this. Like, that is not, for me, that's not the way that I go about it. So definitely, you know, like I said, prayer is important. I have a playlist where I talk about a whole bunch of like how-tos, um how to pray. I'm gonna make a video on that. I definitely want to do, you know, talk a little bit more about meditation. Meditation is not the easiest. I want to go deeper into that. But all of these things are healing, and all of these things really help you through on the journey that you're in, which can tend to be more difficult. I don't know if is anybody here a targeted, like identify as a targeted individual. Let me know, because I'm not always sure if everybody that's in my chat is a targeted individual or is being gang stalked. Yeah. How long have you been a TI? How long has it been happening? That's crazy. Are you sure? Do you think that there's an event that it started with? That's crazy. For me, it's like 2 years ago, but I'm calling an end to that. Like, I haven't been actively gang stalked for like properly for like 6 months. No, you gotta change that mentality. You gotta change that mentality. You're not easy to blame. You might just tolerate horrible people. You might just collect people, and you might just have low boundaries. That's all. Soon as you address that and you have higher standards to the people that have access to you, all of it, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't connect to that mentality. A lot of times gang stalking gives you like low self-esteem because you start blaming yourself for other people's horrible behavior. But just because people have been confused and haven't seen the beauty in you does not mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that. And that's okay. And you get through stuff like that. You get through it one day at a time. You start working on it. It takes time. You start feeling better day by day, incrementally. You start realizing that things are not wrong with you, that even the people around you that think things are wrong with you, that's because these are things that they haven't accepted in themselves. That's because those are things that they struggle with as well. And you keep going. I have no idea what I think the afterlife is like, to be honest with you. But I want to continue with the person that said they had bad self-esteem. I want to tell you that everybody does to some degree. We just work on it. You know, I work through some of mine one at a time. I work through my triggers. I work through things that anger me. I work through things I used to be so insecure about. I didn't even want people to mention them in private or in public. You just work on it day by day. And you know what? The beautiful part about when you find mother is that she loves you so hard that you forget anything is wrong with you. You legit forget that you think things are wrong with you because you feel so honored, to be honest, to meet this energy. You feel so honored. So I wouldn't really worry about how long it's taking. I wouldn't worry about how difficult it is, how many times you fall, how many times you try to stand up on your feet as far as feeling better about yourself. Work on that. Just work on that. And like, people blaming you does not mean that you are to blame. People blaming you is maybe how they perceive a situation. You got to work on your self-esteem. I would recommend listening to positive affirmations. I would actually search this person on YouTube and listen to these videos. Listen to her videos. Abraham Hicks. She helped me considerably on my spiritual journey. That is where I started with it. She talks about the law of attraction. And whatever she's talked about has helped me immensely in my life. I think that that is something that we all can benefit. She teaches you how to be positive, how to be positive about yourself and about your relationships. You know, it's okay to venture out in the world every once in a while. I'm not saying trust people now. If you're targeted, I'm not saying trust people, but you can venture out into the world. You can talk to people. You can just look out there. Just look beyond what you've been doing. Try something new and see how that works. So I think the last person is gone from the chat. Anyway, let me read these spirit messages cards before I'm done. I call these cards messages from spirit. So the first one says, no matter how much you're being tested or pushed right now, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. You can and will do this. I think every day we just need to like push forward. Take one step at a time. Try again and conquer things that seem insurmountable. And the next card I got is, you are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you and various seemingly contradictory information that is coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction you want to take your life. So, pretty self-explanatory. I hope that has been encouraging for anyone that has stayed in the live. I am going to pull a crystal card. I love crystals, as you can see. I'm wearing my own crystals right now. I think crystals heal so much. I just feel so much better. And definitely when you need healing and grounding, crystals are super important. So I am going to read the crystal that came up today, and it's granite, and this is the crystal for death, birth, death, and rebirth. Granite has staying power. It emits emitting measurable paramagnetic frequencies and high in chi, which is life force. Granite passes chi into the body so that an energy field is stabilized and energized, although its harshness may exasperate depression. Granite realigns subtle bodies with the physical, activating electrical activity in cells and stimulating the immune response. The rock neutralizes the ill effects of noxious earth energy lines and re-energizes Earth's magnetic grid. Not sure what that means, I'll be honest with you. Granite energetically regulates apoptosis, the essential biological process of cell birth, death, and rebirth. Which, by the way, if that doesn't happen for you, that's how you get cancer. It's cells that never die. Oh my gosh, I hope that's okay. So on the mind, it helps you see the bigger picture in things mentally. And in the spirit, it creates a safe, sacred space in which to practice magical and transformational rituals. Little rituals that we have are something that we put together over time. It's not something to be rushed. You make your own rituals. It can be things from time to yourself, time to find peace, spiritual baths, cleaning yourself, taking care of yourself energetically, praying. Praying is a ritual that I do every single day, multiple times a day. Praying and meditating, it's very important for me. Servicing my altar. These are things that are very important. Like I said, slowly but surely. Take your time with everything. Honestly, take your time, one at a time, one at a time. Solutions come and they take time, and if you're being targeted, you're gonna have pushback on different things, and it gets there. It gets there. It's not something that you need to rush. But as long as you start towards it, I think you could definitely benefit from some of my videos. I have a playlist called Tools for Healing. Take a listen in there. I talk about things like crystals and altars and stuff like that, but also like just the power of your thoughts, managing your emotions with targeting and all that kinds of stuff. Go through. It'll really help. It'll really make you feel better. And I really like to talk about targeting in such a way of like just finding solutions and like not being hard on yourself, not going through the process, feeling better about where you are, being positive, being strong, especially being strong, not being fearful, etc. So that I will leave it here today. Every time I get to the end of my video, that's when everybody comes. By the way, anybody in here, please like the video. It does help the channel grow. I'd appreciate it. I am going to leave it here, but before I go, I just want to say, if you are a targeted individual, my page is like, I call it like the I go live randomly, but it's every single day. And then I also post like the fact that I went live, my last live, I'll post it in the community tab of the channel as well. So every time I go live, right when I'm done, I'm going to post this live in the community tab. So you can scroll down and you can get one message at a time. I'm pretty active on the YouTube as far as like putting community tab messages on and stuff like that. So yeah, whenever I come on, definitely check out the lives. Honestly, I mostly go live. If I put on a video that I premiere, it's pretty much going to be like a how-to video, and it's because I want it to be short and to the point. Because when I want someone to learn something, I don't want them to have to listen to like an hour of video. So the how-to ones are very, very short. They're direct, they're to the point, and they're easy to find on the page as well. So I go very deep into spirituality as well as, but I'm making the content for people who are spiritual beginners, people who want to just start this walk and they want baby steps. Like, you do not want to like dive head first, because this is how I was. If you have like a different religion that you're coming from, spirituality, I feel like you got to take it slow. You can't just be like right away on the deep end, unless that's what someone wants and they're ready for. But like, for me, I had to take it slow, and that's okay. That's totally okay. And you stay where you feel comfortable for as long as you need to, and then you continue moving forward as long as you don't regress back, because it's a very healing thing. It's about feeling healed, empowered, and finally mastering life, mastering your life, getting to the point in your life where you finally don't feel at the mercy of what is happening around you. Who likes you, who doesn't like you, what's working, what's not working, just knowing that you can affect everything in a positive way. Take your time. Take your time. I would definitely do things like work on yourself, work on your self-esteem, work on your inner peace, work on, you're going through a lot if you're being targeted already, if you have kids. Take your time. There is a lot to unpack. It does not need to happen all in one day. I have been on this healing journey for 2 years. The last 6 months has been intense because I've had to sit down and do some intense work, some intense healing work, since it's been hard to gang stalk me. They don't have access to me every day. They don't have access to me in any way, not through any friends, not through any platforms, not through anything. There's constant trying, but my boundaries are up. I know how to navigate my my world, but this is where I'm at with it. And this is what I want to give people back for sure, is just help. So thank you guys for hanging in there. Check out the videos. Please leave a like on the video. Please share and please subscribe. That is how I get my little channel to grow over here. But I really feel like I have really good information for people that are struggling. So if you do not catch the live, sometimes I go live in the evenings. Sometimes it's very random. It's usually sometimes in the evenings, but I can never tell. So yeah, if you don't catch the live, definitely catch the videos that I post and just kind of go through that. No, I don't actually. I don't, but I like that name, Mat Ra, because that's what I believe in. I believe in, I'm gonna look it up right now. I not just believe in, but the mother father energy, it is very sacred. How do I spell? Oh, there it is. So it's like an older black guy. So I think this person's like reposted by like a bunch of people, because I can't find like a channel with that name. Let me look for... I can't find like a channel with that name. I see the videos though. I'll definitely check it out. This is like a health person. Oh, he's a herbalist. So I'm gonna subscribe. Oh, he doesn't have his own channel. Okay, no wonder. No wonder. Where do people find his videos on his like, does he have a website? I'm gonna definitely check this out. It seems like interesting information. I'm gonna Google. Oh, I'm gonna check that out. So I'm gonna like Google it and see what comes up. Oh, I'm not a, that's crazy. See, you always learn new things. This spiritual journey is super interesting just in terms of like, I see an Instagram. Okay, and he has a store. Interesting. I've learned something for the day. Oh, this person's super out there. He has books. And a TikTok. Holy, 17 million on TikTok. That's crazy. I'm gonna definitely check it out. I love that. I love anything that would just give me an opportunity to learn more. And I love his name, Mahat Ra. Mahat is the mother energy, Ra is the father energy. So that's what I believe in. That those are my personal, not just beliefs, but my personal reality. Mahat, the mother energy, my mother. Ra, the father. And it's so crazy. Tomorrow is Ra day, but tomorrow is also not just Sunday, but Father's Day. So that's, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna be doing the most at my altar because I always do. But yeah, it's Father's Day tomorrow. So it's Raw Day and it falls on a Sunday. I find that to be, I love that. Father's Day falling on a Sunday. So that is my message for today anyway. Thank you for hanging in there as far as checking out my live, checking out my little corner of the planet. It's so crazy because today I'm actually engaging in my video, and normally I don't engage with people. I used to have so many trolls come in here, but you know, going with my gut, I just feel like today is like a very significant day. I don't know what it is, but today is a very significant day. I just feel good, like I said, so right on time. So anyway, thank you for hanging in there. Have a blessed day. Check out the page or my channel again when you have time. I comment a lot in the community tab so we can interact there. Have a beautiful day, and I hope I can help in any way, and just remember that God loves you. Have a good day.